Hello ladies, A1s, Day 1s, and if you're a new one, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Now you are going to get some prep in this video because your girl was live on TikTok and I walked the girls through it from beginning to end. Y'all saw me build these nails up and get them all the way together, and I'm so excited that I can save it over there and bring it here to you on YouTube. I will edit a lot of the chit chat and if it was too many hand motions or if I showed the girls something else. I will edit that out, but it is an extended nail video. I just wanted to give you what I was giving the girls, so I did not edit like any work or anything like that. I just want you to enjoy it. But if you are here for the live action, then you can just follow me over there on TikTok and we kiki it up real nice. So I like going in with this cuticle bit. You see how I have it flush to the nail and I'm just circling that cuticle area. I don't have terrible cuticles, so I kind of push them back and clean them up with that same drill bit. It's very handy and multi-task. Now my nails did get super beat up from my little nail area makeover, but I feel like nails are a protective style for the nails. So if you are trying to grow your natural nails, I would even think doing the Gel X would work for you. And I'm going to go in with these squares. These are my new favorites, my 3XL tapered squares that I got from Amazon. I'll leave the link down below. But this time, I'm going to do something different with the pinky. I haven't done this in a while. Is double tip, and I'm going to use a coffin and a really pointy tapered stiletto tip to give me a really extended long stiletto. I'm going to start going in with the Macart nail glue, and I'm going to start with my pinky because I feel like if I start with my thumb, then all the nails are in the way and it just makes it more difficult. So I usually start with the pinky and I put the tip right at the tip of the nail, not halfway, not less than halfway, right at the tip. Kind of like when you do nail forms with paper. That paper form is not even never ever touching your natural nail bed. You are only able to work at the very free edge of the nail. So I'm just applying them. And they're coming along real cute. Now, I did kiki with the girls and tell them that sometimes you are able to go a little size smaller depending if the tips run bigger if you have big giant nail beds. My middle finger is a big giant nail bed and I like to taper her in, the look of her, to slender her out. So sometimes I can push a size down, but you have to watch how you're building that nail, making sure that you are getting sidewall to sidewall product at least, but you just want the look of a tapered nail. Here I am extending the pinky with that stiletto on top of the coffin. I just wanted a very skinny pencil looking type of stiletto look. And girl, I already was feeling like a baddie. I'm going to cut the thumb. It's just easier for me to text and work, and I like the look. I don't mind. I'm also going to cut just the number off the other nails. I'm going to cut them down a bit, but I'm not going to touch the stiletto. She's the goal length. I mean, I can only work with what I have, and I'm going to work with her at full length. So if I have to cut down the square nails a bit just to match the length, I will. But I'm also going to go in and blend them, giving them a very personalized look, blending the tip into my natural nail, but also it gives the nail texture, something for the acrylic to grab onto so it won't be so slick running down the nail. It gives me time to like play with it and push it around a bit, so that's helpful for that. But you don't have to blend them if you don't got time for that, girl. You can just go right on in. And when I go live, I always drop a helpful hint, a little hack, a little tea, just something that you're like, oh, okay, that's helpful. So I urge you to attend a live. We really talk about a lot of things regarding the application. Now, she's already looking really good. She's blended, but I'm going to go in and just taper her a little bit more to the natural nail, just bringing in those sidewalls. I want this set to be as perfect as possible. And the fact that we was on live, I mean, I want to give the girls, every step by step, how to achieve this look, what you should be doing. So look, the nails is coming to life, and we did more filing on the live. You gotta be there, you gotta be in it to win it. But here I'm just gonna move it along. I'm gonna go into my liquid prep, which would be my dehydrator and my primer. I believe I might have cut that out by accident, but I went in with dehydrator, and then I went in with the primer, and now I'm gonna go in with my clear protective layer, because y'all know I always do that.
First base, second base, third base. I'm trying to get you in your birthday. Oh, I know these other niggas thirsty, but please never entertain them, cause that would hurt me, you feel me? Feel me? Yeah. I know you feel me. Oh, I know you feel me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. Girl, I know you feel me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like right here, when you do this clear protective layer, you know if this set is gonna hit or not. Like, I just felt it. I was feeling the vibe. There's no turning back now. And I'm gonna go in with some color acrylic. That's gonna be my base color that I'm gonna build up these nails with. Now, I went in with two different colors. First, I went in with my How Nude from ENL. It's a very bright, tan nude, very milky bright nude. It's beautiful, and I'm gonna put that on the pinky. I will leave the link below in the description box to this acrylic if you're interested. I feel like she's gonna be a good winter color, so if you're a paler girl or you get really pale during the winter, this might be your winter nude, girl. And girl, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like stilettos, I slay the best. Like, they're the easiest for me to do the application on. Coffins, squares, you know, I kind of got to work for it, make sure it's even, it's all spread out evenly. But stilettos, like, no matter what, they're so easy for me to do application on. I don't do them a lot on myself, but my girls, they get stiletto, and I love it. Like, when they say they're going to get a stiletto set, I'm like, oh yeah, girl. Like, I'm gonna slay that one. I already know it's gonna be easy. I don't really have to work for it too hard. What's your favorite shape to slay? Now, since the moment I tried this E&L, I always told you guys how similar the formula felt to a Valentino acrylic. And now I've noticed they are my only two go-tos. Like, it's like working with the same one brand, which, you know, if you find your monomer that works for you and you find your acrylic that works for you, like, you're gonna slay every set. And it's very easy to play with the both of them. I don't quite have to adjust my bead too much. Like, I don't have to do nothing different when I am using both of these acrylic brands on one set. And that's, if you know, you know, you pull out one acrylic and you slaying, and then you pull out that dynamic supply and you like, what the hell? Like, you got to change your whole pickup. So I'm going to go in with Bad and Bougie. It's a beautiful pink nude, a soft pink nude. If you know, you know, Bad and Bougie from Valentino. And I'm going to build, I think, all of the rest of the nails with this color. I only went in with the How Nude on the pinky because I wanted that to have a very bright look on that pinky. Now, in case you wanted to know, I do work with a number 12 Kolinsky brush, and it works for me. It is summertime, so I am working a little bit wetter. And I guess, you know, I pick up smaller beads than I would with a 14 or a 16, but I work with speed dry monomer, so my beads dry super fast anyway. So working with smaller beads allows me just enough time to place it, pat it, blend it, walk away. That's how I like to do it. Build the nail what works for you. If you're a one bead girl and you just want to slap a big blob on there and walk it all the way down the nail, girl, I wish I could. But, you know, you get used to doing it what works for you, how it works for you. This is how it works for me. I like to build the nail from the bottom up to the cuticle area and just take my time with it. And I do enjoy a speed dry monomer. So I usually never have to chase my acrylic around. Once I place it, I gotta hurry up, pat it, blend it where I need it to be, and just walk away from there and move on. And you see right here, I am constantly checking the barrel of my nail. That means looking at it straight down from the tip to the cuticle, looking straight down like the barrel of a gun, just making sure it's evenly spread out. There's no dips. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but I take great pride in my little cleanup napkin. It's mostly just liquid, not acrylic. I hate to waste my acrylic, especially my color. So you see, I have a clean napkin. That's how fast my acrylic dries. Like, I don't even have any spillage, any leftover, any piece that I need to like knock off the nail. It's usually just extra acrylic liquid in my brush because I work with such a small brush and speed drying monomer. I tend to work a little wetter. So usually there's just liquid on my napkin, not a lot of acrylic. So my A1s, day ones, y'all know the deal. I go in and I clear cap. This is where I get my body, my thickness, my Prego apex, especially for the length that I'm doing. Not only that, it saves me a coin because when I find a color that I love and I don't want to waste it, and color acrylic is not cheap, I can just make sure I get full color coverage on that nail, get the color on the nail, and then build them up, get them nice and thick the way that I like them with my clear. This is where I'm going to get my strength and my body from, so I highly recommend. So when I clear cap, you know, I look over each nail. I want them to appear to be the same thickness. I want the apex to be sitting in the right place all across the board. You know, they can't be twins, but they can be the kind of sisters that are born like a year apart, like 9 months apart, and they kind of look like twins. Yeah, so that's what I'm going for. So these are the girls, honey. We did it all on live. They look so pretty. So many girls came through, and I really appreciate y'all. We took a little bathroom break. You know, I took a little break, and I came back. I was a little bit filed, and I did the rest with the girls on live. Just some refined filing, but she was so pretty. Look at these nails. Like, we did our thing, and the girls saw it happen from beginning to end. Like, very impressive. We had a good time. You know, I am building these nails. There's no magic trick. We go through it together, and you can do it too, girl. You can do it too, okay? So if you still here, you know how much I love and appreciate you. Give the video a thumbs up, and thank you for sticking around. But this is the fun part. This is the part you don't want to miss. We're going to get into a design. This design was inspired by the news that I heard about PBS. Girl, I was on TikTok, and I heard that PBS was shutting down because they didn't get enough funding. And I was devastated. I miss my Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Read a Rainbow. Like, those are still very vivid memories in my mind. So I wanted to do a set dedicated to that. First, I'm going to go in with a base gel. And then I'm going to pick my first color. Now, I knew this set was going to be colorful, bold, and bright. Again, I planned it out about a week in advance. As soon as I got that news, I was like, oh no, I got to do a nail set. So I'm going to go in with this neon yellow from Model 1s. And I'm going to start, I'm going to do a French on my middle finger. Now, I did go in and do 2 coats on this nail, and I knew what she would be. I told you I planned this set. As soon as I got the news, I knew what every nail was going to be. I even drew it in my little black nail book. So having it thought out and planned out and knowing what nail was going to be what design, as nervous as I be, that is exactly what got me through the live. I knew exactly what nail would be which. So moving on to the next nail, I went in with white. I'm going to do a white Frenchie. I knew exactly which finger was going to be this and what she was going to be. So let's get into that. I'm going to do a white French. I did go in and do 2 coats. I did 2 coats of any color that you see on this nail. I always go in with a thin first layer and a thin second layer, and it always comes out full color coverage. Okay, so now we're getting into my third nail, and I decided to go in with a black Frenchie. Personally, I dread doing Frenchies side by side, like 2 maybe, and then I'll like break it up with some bling or something else, and then another Frenchie if you want. But to do 3 or 4 or 5 Frenchies side by side, what? Girl, these brushes are so helpful, and I will leave the link down below. I talk about them all the time, and you see it for yourself. Like, they're so helpful with line work, and especially Frenchies. I highly recommend you get you a set, maybe even 2 sets. So I try to hold back on designing each nail. So I went in with the Frenchies first because I wanted to keep some suspense for the girls on live. I didn't want them to figure out exactly what I was doing. Even though I knew what I was doing, girl, I had the whole vision in my head. I definitely wanted to keep them guessing and have them stay a little longer to watch the design unfold. But girl, the design, I have to kick it up a notch. Like, now we're getting into detail. So I figured the girls would kind of figure it out by now. So I pulled out this red, and I'm gonna work on the white Frenchie. And as soon as you see this red line go down, you already know what we about to do. We about to do, you know, the back to school paper nail. So that's always like challenging because there's a lot of straight lines on this particular design. So I did the red side line, and now I'm gonna go in for those blue paper lines. And this is a hack that I shared with the girls. Sometimes it's really hard to make those lines go straight across nice and evenly, perfectly. So my hack is I take the edge of a card. I like a Metro card because it's thin enough. And I get a little polish right on the side of the card. And I just tap it just to give me a guideline. And I know that they're even and it's straight. And then from there, I can take my liner brush and just extend the line in either direction. It does help a lot. I'm telling you, try it. You can also use a nail tip as long as you can kind of see that the line is centered, it's straight, and that they're spread apart evenly. It's just going to give you like the cleanest version of this. We're moving on to the pinky nail, and I decided to go in with this like royal navy, I don't know what blue. She's giving color pencil. That's what she's supposed to be, a color pencil. And I thought it was so cute. It was very important to know like what this was going to be in the final result, because I had to prep the shape of the nail. If I wanted to make her a different color, that's why I went in with a nude, because a pencil kind of has like wood coloring when you sharpen it. It was the detail for me. I really did go in with some little fine line work. I decided to go in with a matte top coat just to really give that effect. And you know, I told y'all I'd be talking with my GPT chat, and one time I asked his opinion on a set, and he was like, oh, it's cute, but you should try doing glossy coat and matte coat to give the set some dimension. And I was like, you know what? I never do that. Either the set is matte or the set is glossy. So I kind of took his advice on this one, and I added some matte nails as well as some glossy nails. And I feel like it didn't look strange. Like, I thought it was going to look weird, but it didn't. It really brought the set together. Each nail had like an individual vibe and was so cute. Here I'm going in with those fine details on top of the matte. So the pencil is matte, and I'm just adding some polish on to the matte, giving it some fine line work. Now I'm not going to top coat that. You can go in with your polish. You don't have to top coat. I mean, it's not going to fall off. It's not going to do anything. It just doesn't have high gloss. It kind of gives it a satin look, a satin gloss. So if you are doing some type of detailing and you know you're working over a matte, you can just go in with your polish, and when you clean it off, and you know, after you cure it, After you cure it, you clean it off with an alcohol pad. It will have some shine, more of a satin shine. Now, we've got more detailing to do. I'm going to work on my chalkboard nail, which is the black nail. I'm going to go in with a white gel polish and just do some mathematical things, maybe like a division, a times table, an equal sign, some numbers, just random things there. We had a lot of fun with that. I was going for an ode to channel 13. My 1 looks a little bit like a 7. It could be either or, girl. I'm okay with that. And I find it so much easier to do curvy line work with my dotting tools as opposed to a brush. But do what works for you, girl. So here are the nails so far, and they're almost done. We just got to add some fine detail. I am so happy to do that middle finger. That middle finger is very special. We worked very hard on that. So we're going to continue. We're going to do some more detailing on these nails to really make them pop. But we're almost done, so hang in there, girl. Now, I was digging in the charm box and I pulled out the perfect charm for this. I've used it before. I often only use it on back to school nails. So it was the perfect fit. And I put this little apple on my paper nail and I applied it using acrylic so that way, you know, it would really hold on for dear life. Now, I am really happy with this set so far. I felt like I needed to add the red. It just gives that Crayola feel. Personally, I don't like a lot of charms on my thumb because when I do my ponytail, it always gets stuck in the rubber band. So I kind of went for a more plain look, but I did try to jazz her up. I painted her full on red, so she's bright and she's bold. And then I painted her matte. I gave her a matte top coat, but then I went back in with gloss and gave her a glossy French just to give her a little personality. She's really not doing much. She's only here for the color. So you must leave me a comment below. What do you think so far? Like, these totally came to life on live. I was so happy, so pleased that my vision, I could see it. It's exactly how I want it. I love all the bright colors. It's giving Sesame Street. And now that middle finger, girl, I was dreading it because it has some line work. And I wasn't sure how I was going to go about it, but we figured something out. Now, if you can't tell by now, she's supposed to be my ruler nail, which I have not done the ruler in a back to school set before. This is my first time. And I wasn't sure which direction I wanted to do the ruler in. So with the girls on live, we did look up some references, which I don't do often. I need to do that more because this came out so good with that reference inspiration. So I saw a ruler and I decided to do the numbers, you know, this way, thinking it would be a little easier. So let's get into it. The first thing I did on this ruler was go in with my number 1. I just tried to hold my hand as steady as I could, and I just did a straight line. I didn't try to make it too elaborate. I just did a straight line and the little straight top at the end so you could really know it's a 1. And also I did the number first just to give me like some coordination with the spacing on these nails and the line work I may have to do. But these brushes are just amazing. Look at that little delicate one. I found this to be the hardest part, which was spacing out the in-between lines evenly, just trying to make them pop. I wanted them to be bold. At first I was doing them like way too close together, and then I was like, girl, you don't have to do them too close together. Like, it could be however you want to interpret it. But I just wanted the lines to be straight and give ruler, and we did get through that. So as I'm doing this voiceover, I see that I needed a mental break, straight lines. There's been a lot of straight line work here, and I guess I was a little stressed. So I went back to the red nail and just added a couple of star charms, like gems to her, just to give her a little something, because all the nails got a lot going on. Even some of the plain ones, like even this red plain one, I just wanted to give her something. So I put little stars on her, and then we're going to get back to the ruler.
First base, second base, third base. I'm trying to get you in your birthday. I know these other niggas thirsty, but please never entertain them, cause that would hurt me, you feel me? Feel me? Yeah.
And the best advice I can give you is if you have a good straight line, cure, 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 and move on after, okay? Unless you that girl and your confidence is on 10, it's risky to just go in with your line work and your design and it's all wet and, you just don't know. So if you have a good line, cure it right away and then continue. I was happy with this, so I'm going to cure. We almost done. I hope you still here. I hope you enjoying the set. I hope you feel like this is something you could achieve, especially with the hacks that I gave you. I just did that too so fast, girl. I did that too so fast. I did it with the dotting tool, and I just went in. I went in precisely. I knew what I wanted to do. I just did it, and somehow it worked. So you may have to do it once or twice or whatever. That's fine. But for some reason, it came together really quick for me. So I just went in. I did a little number 2. I was so happy. I couldn't dare do a 3, girl. I wouldn't dare go for the 3. I was like, we just gonna stop right here and add a charm. I felt like it was best, again, to go in with acrylic, and I found this little Burt head. Now, you can go on Amazon, and they do have a bunch of like Sesame Street little heads. They have Oscar the Grouch, Elmo, Cookie Monster. So cute. They even have Big Bird. I got a few of them. But I felt like Burt was the perfect one for this ruler. He's the brainiac of the crew. And just I had so much fun. It was just perfect. I had this in my mind, visualized for days, honey, and it came out exactly the way I envisioned it. So I'm gonna add some top coat. This one is gonna be a glossy nail. I didn't go for big gems. I did do my charms. I felt like this is a charmy set. I've not really seen a back to school set like with bling, because it kind of distracts from the detailing. There's a lot of line work in back to school sets, the papers, the rulers, the crayons. It's just, there's a lot there, so you don't always need bling. So I went for charms, and I just think they were perfect. So I'm wrapping up the video, girl. I'm just making sure my acrylic is dry before I add my top coat. But for the sake of the video, are you ready for the reveal? Are you ready for my photo shoot? Give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. You know how much I love and appreciate y'all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.